Hi there and welcome to Lorena's Labyrinth. Today we're going to be talking about Archangel Chamuel, his powers, what he can teach us, what he can share with us. And just a reminder, when we're invoking the angels, their primary purpose and function is to reawaken and support us to establish or reconnect with the Creator. So always when we invoke or pray to the angels, we call upon the Creator first by whatever name you're comfortable with. So for you, if you're comfortable with saying God, Jesus, Allah, Elohim, Source, all that I am, the great I am, whatever you feel comfortable with is the name of the Creator that you call forth first. Now, the other thing too is if you're not comfortable with the term angels, do consider replacing it with a word or description such as beings of light of the highest order. And a reminder for you too as we go into the angel content is that they will manifest to us in ways that are comfortable for us. Now, while they have a winged aura, they're never ever frightening. They're not judgmental of us. Their love for us is unconditional, and they will never give us any fear-based messages. So when we call upon them, we call with the love and sincerity of our heart, and they respond immediately. I'm mentioning all of this so that you can get a bit of understanding about what you can expect when you start this process, and also to be aware, even though the image I've got here has got the feathery wings like a bird, this is actually not how their aura looks. It's a winged aura as opposed to an oval-shaped aura. But for myself, when I was first opening up to my clairvoyant gifts, I became confused. And so therefore I asked that angels, when they presented to me, that they manifest for me with these feathered wings that, like in this image here. Speaking of that, I haven't seen Archangel Chamuel looking as per this image, but it's a pretty image and it's one that I developed with AI. AI can be very challenging. So on with the video. So the first bit of information I can give to you here is based on the angelic hierarchy. You can see that Chamuel is one of the great archangels, and his role is dedicated to help us that are here on earth to give and receive love and to experience the embrace and love of the divine. He is associated actually with the colours pink and emerald. I've noticed online that there seems to be a variation, shall we say, from these colours, but I'll explain what that means as we go through it. The pink is actually about filling our own cup with love, self-respect, self-acceptance, forgiveness of self, and ultimately so that we can extend unconditional self-love for ourselves. Now, self-love is not to be mistaken for self-absorption, selfishness, or vanity. It's about filling the cup so that we can then share that love with other people. The emerald green is about being able to extend that love through to others. That's the forgiveness, all the qualities that we draw in for love for ourselves. With the pink, we're then able to extend that out to other people. And the way we build on our capacity to help other people is through the emerald colour. So for myself, I always draw upon the pink and the green, and this is why you will see this as a recurring theme. And for me, it's also about balance of the love energy and the heart chakra. So Archangel Chamuel has a twin flame called Charity, and she assists him within his role and function to promote love and adoration of the Creator within us. And the way that he does this is by teaching us how to open our hearts fully to this love, this divine love. It's a series of steps which includes becoming more self-aware of our own self-imposed limitations and barriers that act as blockers to us receiving this divine love. And in fact, a lot of it, I believe, starts from that space and place of forgiving ourselves and accepting ourselves for who and what we are right now. Not that we are without areas of improvement. We can always continue to evolve and develop, but it's about accepting that even our mistakes have been part of our growth. Any errors of judgment we might have made, we can't beat ourselves up about this forever. So through the power and energy of Archangel Chamuel, we learn to put the past to rest and to open fully to the future. There is nothing stern about him, and I just want to remind you of this. The energy of the angels is joyous. It is blissful. It is beautiful. And I can't think of anything more else to say about this. Just, there is nothing that you could possibly do that would alienate you from the love and regard of the angels. They are there to help and assist us to develop ourselves and reach our potential. So within each of us, centered in the middle of our chest, is our heart chakra, and within that we all carry the flame of the divine spark. Some people refer to it as the Namaste, if I've pronounced it correctly, but either way we can call it that flame of divine or love that is in our heart always. So part of Chamuel's powers is to expand this flame in ways where we are able to express this love and share it with others in a multitude of ways. Now, within this too, where Charity offers support, is she brings in the qualities of mercy and tenderness and mixes them with compassion and empathy. Now, what happens from there is Chamuel and the heart angels, they spread the energy of the peacemakers, the philosophers, and those that wish to share the higher truths. Archangel Chamuel and his angels, they will pour love into the hearts of them. The artists, the writers, the people who work in fields where they express from the heart, particularly in creative ways. Now, his powers do include the healing of a broken heart. If you've gone through relationship breakdown and suffering from that, you can receive healing for that broken heart. Other powers include opening the heart to this, as I said before, unconditional love and acceptance of the divine, but it also includes forgiveness, being able to forgive ourselves and others for not being who or what we wanted them to be, and respecting and understanding ourselves and others, as well as, acceptance. I've just lost my train of thought. But yes, basically it is about enhancing on a really large scale the amount of love that we can carry in our aura. And in the process, the way we do that, or when we do that, we're able to raise the levels of light within our body, and we increase the auric vibration, and it enhances our connection. And it is through love that we actually can access into our personal power. While Chamuel also fuels us and nourishes us with this love, he teaches and shares his wisdom with us on how to be discerning around our spiritual energy and growth, and to create a pure connection with the Creator. Now, one of the descriptors for him is where he is referred to as he who seeks God, and he will anchor the power of the adoration from the divine, the eternal within us. He works with those of us who actively seek to develop, foster and maintain a more personal connection with the Creator. Now, heaven means different things to different people. However, I believe that we can agree, those of us that believe in heaven, that it is an ethereal type space, a place of constant rhythm and praise for the blessings of life, that is, eternal life, and it is completely love-filled. In many ways, we can have heaven on earth right here, right now, when we are connected and aware of this constant companionship of the spirit team and of our guides and angels. Now, this connection, just so that you know, promotes this warmth and feelings of security and safety, and it gives strength, and it's basically a constancy of this connection to love, which is bliss as well. So this is what Chamuel is actually trying to convey to you. You can manifest heaven on earth through love and through adopting practices of love. However, be mindful that words alone are not enough. We must establish this loving as part of our daily activities, living and acting from a space of love and gratitude. Now, I would add to this, this does not mean that you need to be a saint or that you've got to be somehow this perfect image of you in your own mind to be able to receive the love of the Creator. Rather, intention does go a long way. The team will know when we're trying, and they understand that we're human, and they understand that we make mistakes. And the idea really is just to do the best that we can within any given situation, to draw upon their benevolence, if you like, when we find ourselves in uncomfortable situations, to call and to ask them. All we have to do is ask, right? And if you do fall short of your own expectations, then make an effort to apologize, or to take on board the lessons learned, and to focus on this continual improving of self as part of maintaining self-respect and your self-confidence, and also to learn to forgive yourself and be comfortable. If we err and hurt another, the idea is that we seek forgiveness from them, or to seek to make restitution. The divine knows that we are perfect creations, evolving all the time. There is that saying of, I am a perfect imperfection, and that is what we are. We are perfect imperfections, evolving our state of perfection all the time. Now, before we can love another, we must learn to love ourselves, and this means recognizing our self-worth and knowing at a core level that we are worthy of divine love. And Chamuel encourages you to learn to adore yourself through expressing love and appreciation to yourself of who you are, and that you begin this process by doing one thing each day that expresses self-love, and then increase it to 4. The following wisdom is from my angel book, and if you've listened to my personal story about how I connected to angels, it was something I had to really work toward as far as opening my mind goes. Now, as with you, you potentially are not that comfortable with these concepts, and neither was I, but I decided to give it all a go, and I adopted that attitude of nothing ventured, nothing gained, and if nothing happened, by me adopting these new practices, then nothing was lost either. So, the real question was, well, what if it worked? So I decided to follow my own advice and keep an open mind and give it a shot, right? So the idea is, allow this divine love to shine its freedom onto you and to absorb it into every cell of your body and your aura. And then as you fill this, it's like filling up a cup. As you fill your cup, you are then in a position for that beautiful loving energy to flow from you onto other people. And as we learn to do this and incorporate this into our life, we then start to experience miracles, and we experience them in a greater multitude. Now, something that you can also do is ask that you be able to feel as your cup is filled, right? So a lot of the time people ask and they don't feel that anything is happening because they're not getting any physical sensations or whatever. But if you ask to feel the physical sensations, they will comply. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes, and the more sensitive and the more aware you become of what's happening energetically around you. So the point being, reverently give thanks for this beautiful and divine love that they're prepared to share with us. And once you start doing that, then you'll start to see the changes occurring in your life fairly quickly, because they respond very quickly, and you'll be able to observe the changes on your loved ones' faces. They will start to light up as you share this beautiful love with them. And not only that, your body will soon learn to relax within this newfound energy of adoration, and you will be able to see on your own face the changes as it becomes transformed and it becomes softer. Now, if you want to intensify the energy and the experience of feeling adoration and love, you can attend a holy place or building. Now, it doesn't have to be holy as in how religions might refer to it. It can just be a sacred space if that's something that you're comfortable with, and that can be sacred land. When I first started connecting with angels, I would do so in the bush or the forest, surrounded by the miracle of nature. And this helped me to enhance my own connection. And then as we start to sit more confidently and comfortably in this love, then we can accommodate it into our daily practice. And we set aside time, that would be the advice, each day to say thank you and to send loving gratitude to the Creator for the blessings known and unknown. And we can do just 1 minute an hour if that's the only time you've got available. What else can I add? Yes, the more we feel it, the more grateful we are, the more we're able to manifest these miracles. And if you're concerned that as you bring in this love to yourself and appreciation of yourself, that you might start to become superior. That's not going to be the case, because as you increase your capacity to give love, you're automatically going to have compassion and empathy for other people, and your heart will know to be humble, because actually the love of the Creator is very humbling. So you don't need to deny yourself love or self-care while you're caring for others. So one of the healing gifts that Chamuel can offer you is if you're dealing with grief and bereavement, and your heart is breaking from the loss. When somebody passes over to the other side, the loss can be devastating and sometimes, even inconsolable. You can draw upon Chamuel and his angels of love to help you overcome this pain and suffering, and not through removing the memory, but rather letting you know that the spirits are there, that you can connect with them at a soul level. And basically they can do this usually when a person is in their sleep state. Oftentimes this healing occurs with, instead of focusing on the loss and the grief, being able to transmute this around to putting the focus on the shared pleasurable memories in ways that are no longer painful. So these are things that you could call on Chamuel for. So this video is going to be a bit longer than I thought it would be. So instead of telling you the story that I've got here in regard to how this works, I will tell you the process. One of the gifts that Chamuel will also bring to us is the capacity to find lost or misplaced items. Now, the way that you do this is obviously you invoke the Creator, you invoke Archangel Chamuel to help you find the misplaced item. Then once you have done the invocation, you might want to do this by lighting a candle as well, or burning some incense, and then step back. You let go of it. You let them do whatever it is that they're going to be doing on the other side. I recommend sit down, make a cup of tea, or just go and get busy doing something else, and take your mind off the lost item that you're trying to find. No matter how important it is to you, if it's lost money, lost car keys, whatever, you let it go, you hand it over, all right? And the idea is that if it is meant to be found, you will either get a vision of where it is, or for most people it's an intuitive thing where all of a sudden they go, oh, hang on a moment, I'll just go and look in such and such a spot, and there it is. Okay, now in my experience it works every single time. And I'm not going to talk much more about that. I'll get on to the next slide. So as I said, Chamuel oversees the heart chakra, and you can see on here, I'm not going to run through the whole list. You can pause the screen if you want to look at more of this, how the heart chakra functions, and the characteristics of a healthy and open heart chakra is there on the right hand side. I've represented the heart chakra with the pink and the green, because my recommendation is for everybody that when you try and work on your heart chakra, that you incorporate both aspects. If you talk about self-forgiveness, it's an example of how I would do it would be something like, shine your light into my heart and fill my heart with self-love and self-acceptance and acceptance of others and love of others. Just somehow balance it out, because it is the balance of the heart chakra that's important. So with this slide, once again, this is just some information designed for you to have a look at and establish and assess your own health and well-being or the function of your heart chakra. So here we've got the emotional mind, body, spirit, basically, of what could be potential manifestations of a blocked heart chakra. So just take a look. If we're talking about behavior, we're talking about actions and how we interact with other people. If we're talking about the physical, we're talking about physical health issues. And of course, emotion is that feeling stuff. So, take a look at this, and then that will give you an idea if you were going to do a personal healing request as to what you might request Chamuel to direct healing into. So as part of increasing your own self-awareness and working out what areas of yourself that you can heal, you can ask yourself some specific questions here. And these are aligned with a heart chakra imbalance, okay? And this is part of, I've created this slide basically to assist you to work out some areas that you might want to work on and heal as part of increasing and raising your vibration. You can also be generalist. You don't have to be super personal when you're doing a healing request. So here are some ideas that you might, from a general perspective, if you establish through looking at your questions that there's a few areas for improvement, these are some examples of how you might word the healing that you're looking to have Shamuel and his heart angels work with you on. Of course, you're not restricted and limited to these. You get to create, you get to pick and even use your own words. But this is just an example that you can draw upon while you establish the wording for your own ones. Now, all of the great archangels actually have healing temples in the ether, and some people will put forward that they have specific locations. From my perspective, I don't worry about stating the location because I sort of think that I'm not really sure it's got any relevance in as far as do I need to know. I put it out to my guides and my guardian angel to assist me to get to the right temple and to the right archangel for the specific healing purpose. So basically, yes, I've got an invocation that I'll share with you in a little while, but apparently the energy is high to visit Archangel Shamuel on a Monday. Now, that doesn't mean to say that you can't visit his temple or put in the healing request at any other time of the week. I mean, look, you can call on Archangel or any of the angels at any time. You're not restricted to a particular day. It's just to visit the healing temple, my understanding is the energy is supposed to be higher on a Monday. I'm not making any suggestions here that this is a categoric truth. I think what a person believes is true for them. So from my perspective, I have done it on a Monday, and I do actually have conscious recollection of what transpired. But at the same time, I may invoke on another day to go to the temple. Okay, so each to their own. So anyway, yes, he is, when you go to the temple, you can ask for healing because he's the holder of the third ray, I can't speak, which is called the love of God or the adoration ray. So if you wanted to go in and receive healing for this, Monday's a good day to do it. And this is one of the reasons why I will be loading this video on a Monday. So when we connect with any of the angels, certain crystals are said to have specific properties that help to initiate the connection with a particular angel or with a particular chakra. So here I've actually put down a number of my favourite ones. It's not restricted to the crystals that you see on the screen. There's plenty of other ones for the heart chakra as well. But one of the issues that I have here is actually getting photos that aren't copyright. Now, I used to sell crystals, so I can actually say to you, be very careful and mindful when you're buying them online because there are lots of people making fake crystals, and certainly ones like the pink danburite, which is an absolutely beautiful, soft, gentle, loving crystal. That's extremely expensive. So if you were to buy a fraudulent piece of that, that would be very disappointing. But as said before, the colour pink is generally associated with healing self-love issues like low self-esteem, lack of personal confidence in self, the guilt and recrimination, the lack of self-love. All of this becomes a block to receiving divine love. So the pink will help to enhance those aspects of self-love. Now, when it comes to the other green crystals, they all promote love as well, but love, forgiveness, compassion, empathy, by the way, that should be extended to self as well. I forgot about that. When we talk about love, we talk about all these things. So the emerald, the malachite, the jade, and the amazonite, I think, is behind. I can't see it at the moment. I think it's amazonite that's there. But they're all really good for the heart chakra, as is chrysoprase, but some of them are very rare. But yeah, just you can find plenty of information online to help you pick the specific crystals that you're looking to use when connecting with Archangel Shamuel. So just a tip, I tend to do invocations for temple visits at bedtime, in fact actually for healing at bedtime, before I go to sleep, playing angelic music. I mean, sometimes I might do meditation while in a conscious state and that kind of stuff, But I'm aware, as you will be, that if you are doing it before bedtime or lying down, there's every chance that you're going to fall asleep in the process. So what I do is, as I do my invocation, I request that I wake with conscious recollection of what has transpired during my sleep state. And I do wish that I looked as glamorous as this particular image, but that would be delusional. Just be aware, though, that when we ask, the angels do actually respond, and they usually respond better than we ever thought or imagined that they would. And so one of the other things that has happened is that at one stage I was getting woken in the middle of the night, basically about 3 a.m. in the morning, instead of being woken in the morning at a normal time. It was like whatever healing had transpired, I'd be bolt upright at about 3 o'clock in the morning. So then I changed the way I was invoking, which was, in the morning upon waking at 6 a.m. or whatever, that I would receive the messages of my dreams or what happened in my sleep state. So that's something for you to consider as well. Now, just in case you're one of those people that you get your wording not quite right and all of a sudden you're being woken every night at 3 a.m. like what I was, you can just turn around and tell them, it's not convenient. Can we please, just change the way you word it, and they will happily comply with you. When it comes to invoking, the key to an invocation is that you have the conviction in your voice, and it's not the same as a prayer per se, and it's not a pleading. So there's tone and there's approach, and I'm trying to think how to express this in a diplomatic way. You wouldn't go into it in a wishy-washy way, is what I mean. So I've got an example of an invocation here. You wouldn't go, "Oh, I now invoke the mighty Archangel Chamuel of the Pink Ray," because that sounds a bit insipid. The whole key is to put some passion, some enthusiasm, and some confidence into the invocation. And just a reminder here that before we invoke angels, remember, I have stated, and I clearly articulate this, you must invoke the Creator first. Now, when I do my invocations, I actually use the power of 3 as well, because there is a magic associated to the power of 3 and repetition. So I'll give you an example of how I'll do it, bearing in mind that I'm going to be doing it verbally in a space where I'm moderating it, because I have concerns for other people in the houses where I'm going. So I'm trying to be a little bit respectful to others. So it might not sound as enthusiastic as it normally would, is where I'm going. I also forgot to mention that when I do an invocation, I actually stand. I stand tall, I keep my back straight, and I put my hands out, palms up, face upwards, as a gesture of receptivity. Okay, I'm open to receive the healing energy when I take this stance. Father Creator, Father Creator, Father Creator, Mother Creator, Mother Creator, Mother Creator, my angels and guides, Archangel Chamuel, Chamuel, Chamuel. I now invoke the mighty Archangel Chamuel of the Pink Ray to expand the flame of love in my heart and fill it with divine love. Open my heart, Chamuel, to the giving and receiving of unconditional love with a willingness to compromise and an appreciation of life's beauty. Open my heart, Chamuel, to forgiveness of myself and others who may have hurt me either knowingly or unknowingly. Open my heart at a personal and cosmic level. Thanks be. Now, I should have added too that when I do my own personal invocations, I generally complete them with, I give thanks and under grace in the divine way, especially if I'm directing healing to other people. Gratitude is extremely important when it comes to invocation and calling on the divine and angels, because energetically that paves the way. It's probably a bit more complex than that, but everything that they do for us, I feel that we are beholden to follow up with the gratitude anyway. This is an acknowledgement, it's a respect, it's an appreciation, and I don't know that there's truth to the saying that, by showing gratitude or expressing gratitude, that it encourages the angels and the divine to give us more love. But I certainly know from a personal perspective that when people are grateful to the stuff that I do, it's very encouraging for me. It gives me greater enthusiasm. I think the angels are probably above that, but for me personally, I always follow up and complete with gratitude, and I would encourage all people to adopt gratitude as part of their life anyway. You can also call upon Archangel Chamuel and the healing angels to send healing to other people, and this is called service work. So the thing with service work is, though, I was always taught when you're going to send healing to other people, you need at least verbal consent from them. And if you can't obtain verbal consent, then depending on the situation, you could actually ask consent of their higher self before sending. But the other thing is because we're talking about, if you don't have consent, you're generally doing it as distance healing. The other thing, though, that is very important to note is that when we do service work, karma also applies. Okay, with everything that we do, there is going to be karma. And if we send healing to a situation that interferes with a person's divine plan, then realistically we can open ourselves up to, I've put negative karma on here, but realistically it's undesirable karma. But we can avoid that by putting in the phrase that under grace in the divine way, to make sure that the healing is sent for the highest good or in alignment with divine will. Now, the other thing with doing it this way is that you can put in another little clause, if this is what blows your hair back, where you turn around and say, and if this energy is not required for this person, and this is where you state your purpose and intent before you go into an activity, that it be delivered to somebody who will benefit from it in alignment with divine will. Okay, so the way we would do service work is with Chamuel is just to create some time. Perhaps if you've got an altar, sit beside your altar and just invoke the energy of Archangel Chamuel and the angels to send a shower of love and light to the person or a place that's in need. You can also, if you know somebody's suffering grief and loss or whatever, you can invoke them to wrap or enfold the person that you know within their wings. And you can even do it for people that you've heard of within the media who has got a hurting heart. But as I say, once again, if you're going to send without the consent of the person, then you would need to put that under grace and in the divine way in. And you can also call on these angels too, as I said before, to find missing objects, but you can also help to find missing people as well. And that doesn't mean that you need to get actively involved. It's just that you can, if somebody is missing, you can send the angels to help find that person or send healing for everybody involved, actually. Now, as I said before, Archangel Chamuel is the holder of the third ray. The third ray is actually called the ray of adoration or the love of God, and it is coloured, obviously, the beautiful pink or a rose colour, a rose pink. So it's got two shades to it. Now, I've done these little visuals here to try and help you out with the colours, but at the end of the day, I don't think that you would visualize yourself with two separate ray colors. You would merge the two of them. And all you do is obviously invoke Archangel Chamuel to help you to anchor this healing ray. And it's like this image here. You put the cords in from your feet. You put the little silver hat on with the cord going up to the infinite heavens. And you wrap yourself in this pillar of light of these colors of pink. Now, the power and benefits of using this healing ray is it fills your aura with this goodness and the willingness to compromise and find positive solutions for all parties, especially in regard to resolving conflict. It's associated with beauty, so it helps you to develop appreciation for life. What else can I say? As you continue to grow these attributes, the healing energy of the ray converts to blessings, and the blessings of the ray is the ability to be able to discern spirit or to see spirit and to develop your creativity. Crystals that are associated with this ray are the diamond, the rose quartz, pink beryl, which actually is pink emerald. Oh, and of course the pink danburite, which is absolutely beautiful. Anyway, it's a very powerful healing ray, and yes, you can draw upon that and anchor it anytime you feel the urge to draw upon it, basically. So, my friends, that's about all I can share with you about Archangel Chamuel right now. Please let me know how it goes for you. I'll try and get some angelic music up for you to use when you're doing your activities, or at least something that helps to lighten the mood. Now, just a reminder too, as you connect with angels, don't try and force things to happen. Just put it out there, do the words, put your heart into it, and then allow it to unfold. There's that, the activity of doing and then releasing and allowing it to unfold in the divine way. Now, initially you might feel the need to do this on a daily basis. I certainly would encourage it anyway, because the heart chakra is a really good place to start, because it helps to build our confidence. It just helps to open us up to receiving the energy and the beauty of the angels, for want of a better word. So anyway, for now I'm going to finish this video off, because I want to get it loaded today on a Monday, and I want to get Archangel Michael's video done, because I believe that you'll really enjoy that one as well. I recommend that people connect to Archangel Michael too, as part of releasing fear and feeling safe and protected, especially in this day and age. So anyway, for now, I will say thank you very much for being part of my journey. I hope that you find benefit and enjoy the content that I've given to you. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel if this content is interesting to you and you want to see more. I will be loading more in the future. Anyway, have a blessed day, my friends. Take care. See you on the next video.